We're hearing private member statements. I call the member for Port Stephens.
Thank you, Mr Temporary Speaker. Last Thursday, a large cargo ship was battered by rough seas off the coast of Port Stephens. The heavy swells made the cargo ship list to such an extent that 83 shipping containers fell into the ocean, with many more containers damaged beyond repair on board. The 83 containers that fell overboard have had a devastating impact on our coastal environment. Tons and tons of lost cargo have been floating around the ocean, sinking to the ocean floor or washing up on our beaches, including, of course, the mangled metal shipping containers themselves. The tons of rubbish that now burden our coastline includes plastic wrapping, food products, nappies, containers, sanitary products, surgical masks, beauty products, car spare parts, and even clocks. It's been reported today that the Taiwanese company Yang Ming, which owns the cargo ship concerned, called YM Efficiency, somewhat ironically, has apologised for the event. The company's insurer has been responsive in dealing with the impact of the incident and promptly engaged contractors to begin the salvage operation. Local company Varley Group was engaged as the salvage contractors by the insurer, and I understand that helicopters have surveyed the coastline, divers have been in the water, and around 100 contractors have been on the beaches coordinating the clean-up. Now, of course, there are legitimate questions about the incident and how it could have been avoided. And obviously, I'm not an expert in cargo shipping, and it seems that this kind of thing is rare when it comes to Australian shipping lanes. But the focus at the moment must be naturally on the clean-up operation. And on that front, I want to at least acknowledge that the company involved appears to have been doing the right thing so far. That hasn't stopped the government's Hunter spokesman, Scott McDonald, claiming credit for the salvage operation and thanking the Environment Minister, Gabrielle Upton, for her quick response. I'm still at a loss to understand what the Minister for the Environment has actually had to do with any of the clean-up, but good on them for taking credit anyway. On the other hand, there has been a massive response from local residents who took no time at all to roll up their sleeves and start cleaning up the beaches. The local response is a testament to the strength of my community and how much we care about the beautiful environment in which we live. The mess and the debris has been found from Jimmy's Beach in Yakabar Headland, Fingal Beach and to Barooby Beach. I particularly acknowledge those residents amongst the Tea Gardens Hawks Nest community and the Windawappa Association, whose homes were on the edge of a road being washed away by the big seas that saw the ship list. And those residents were still down there on the beach cleaning up the rubbish being washed ashore with each wave rolling in. I want to thank each and every one of the volunteers who have given up their time in brutal weather conditions to do what they could do to help, and the many who continue to do so. I've been speaking with the salvage contractor, Varley Group, as well as Maritime Services to stay on top of the clean-up operation, which I understand is progressing despite the inclement weather. And I've been speaking with representatives from our local commercial fishing industry who have significant concerns, not only about the rubbish now floating through the ocean, but also the dangers posed to fishers as a result of the debris that's in the water. There are still hundreds of kilos of destroyed shipping containers, large chunks of metal, mechanical and structural parts of cars, and large plastic objects which present serious dangers to our commercial fishers. So much so that I'm told local commercial fishers didn't go out today because of the hidden risks in the water. So I'll be working hard to make sure the fishers are compensated for any losses they suffer and to ensure that the large items remaining in the water are salvaged. I've also been in touch with Huon Aquaculture to find out the condition of the yellowtail kingfish pens off the coast of Port Stephens, given the recent big weather and debris. I'm told that the pen's integrity has not been compromised, but that the debris is entering into the pens and being cleaned out. I thank Angus Mitchell and his team at Maritime Services who have been keeping me up to date, as well as the local company Varley Group who are heading up the massive salvage operation on the ground, air and water. Above all, I wish to thank again the many, many residents who have been on the beaches and in the water recovering the debris, all the debris that they can. I've been looking at pictures tonight of what's happening on our beaches, in the dunes, in the national parks, in the waterways and in our seaweed. There is enormous amounts of plastic upon plastic. Whilst authorities have been urging residents to leave the clean-up to the contractors, the direction has been met with frustration because locals know that every piece of plastic they pick up is one less risk for our whales, dolphins and wildlife, a view difficult to argue against. Given all that's been happening, it's somewhat ironic that yesterday was World Environment Day and today in Port Stephens was the official launch of our whale watching season. The extent and breadth of the devastation that the container disaster has caused to our pristine environment is massive. It must be cleaned up. I'll continue to liaise with all agencies and our community to see our shores cleaned up, business impacted supported, and our pristine environment restored.
I'd like to thank the member for Port Stephens.